Hey, it's me, Rhea, and I'm a lifestyle coach. I help moms reclaim their time and energy. Look at you, taking this moment to recharge. I see you. During the Doulas Bloom podcast, I share tools and resources with my clients and community to spend time with themselves. The key to you living as your authentic self is embracing change and having courage. Your relationship with yourself is the only true constant in life, and observing yourself throughout each season will allow you to always be in alignment with the desires of your heart. Are you interested in joining my one-on-one coaching program? You can book a sales call with me by visiting the link in the description to schedule your session today. Before we get started, I have to remind you of your influence because you are an inspiration. Hey everybody, and happy International Women's Month. I am so excited for this series. I have been hard at work all of February recording with amazing women to bring you their stories. I created the Girl Chat series not only to share the stories of amazing women, but to also create time capsules of our growth. I think it's so important for us to go back and witness ourselves. And through this series, I have created a little time capsule, not only for me, but also for the women who joined me in these chats. We get to go back and witness ourselves in these moments. And I teach my clients and my community to do this on a monthly and weekly level. And so I'm so excited to expand and grow this series as time goes on. It's going to be so interesting to have guests come back on to the series. But I'm getting ahead of myself. If this is your first time here, my name is Bria. I am a lifestyle coach. I host the Doulas Bloom podcast. I am the creator of the Doulas Bloom community, and I am the leader of the village. So I'm so excited to bring you this March 2022 cohort of Girl Chats. I have committed to doing this every year, as last year in 2021, I did a series, an IGTV series of Girl Chats, which will also be shared during this month, that has inspired me to continue to share stories and to have conversations with women about their stories and their lives and what's brought them to this point. So for the rest of March 2022, you will be getting stories from 20 plus women about their stories, about where they are right now and what has brought them to this point. And I am so excited to do this again. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's shared so openly in this series. And I am so excited to hop right into this conversation. Clearly, you clicked on this one because something in the title or the description, or you know the person who's going to be on this chat. I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I am so looking forward to our conversation about where you are a year from now, 2 years from now. I'm just excited to have you back for another Girl Chat. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to stop rambling and hop right into this conversation because it is so beautiful, and I don't take any of this for granted, and that's why I really had to come in here hot before we even got into the conversation just to share that. And yeah, I'm gushing right now, but thank you so much for listening, you as the viewer who's experiencing this conversation, this Girl Chat, and thank you to everybody who's been on the Girl Chat in its entirety. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna let the Girl Chat go. But if you're interested in being part of a Girl Chat with us here on the Doulas Bloom podcast, let me know. You can go to the description. There's a link down there for you to join the wait list. There's a wait list, y'all. There's a wait list for the Girl Chats because so many people wanted to be a part of this, and I'm just excited because we're gonna have more Girl Chats here in the future. So if you want to be a part of the next cohort, you need to join the wait list. Okay, have these conversations, share your story, share your insights and your gems with the community, and let us know what's going on. I don't want us to hide and think that we don't, like, our stories aren't enough. Like, oh my gosh, I've learned so much from the women in my life, and that's why this series means so much to me. But again, I want to create space for you to enjoy this conversation. And again, thank you so much to everybody who's listening, who's being a part of this series. I am happy that you're here. Again, if you want to be a part of this series, you can join the waitlist. The link is down below. You can go to doulasbloom.com/podcast guest to join the waitlist. So without further ado, it's time for a Girl Chat. It's Bria here
Enjoy.
from Dulis Bloom, and it's time for a girl chat. As soon as Rae gets in, we will get started. But we actually did a podcast episode together a little while back during 2020. And if you want to go and check out that episode, Rae's coming through. We're just, is she here? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I don't want you to feel embarrassed about what happened because literally right before I started that live, somebody rang the doorbell and I was like, who is this? So I had to go run. They were at the wrong house, but it's okay.
Oh. I was
But
like, I listened and I heard you say Rae needs the latest version of Instagram, and I went, oh my god.
hey, everybody who's coming in to join us. I'm Bria. If you're new around here, Duelist Bloom is my podcast, and Rae has been on before. But for everyone here, Rae, would you like to reintroduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you?
Hey, everybody. I see some familiar people, so thank you for supporting. I'm Rae, and I'm a senior at WCU, Western Carolina University. Finally, hopefully. And yeah, I have different leadership positions on campus, but after graduation, I'm aspiring to be an ESL teacher and later a professor and publish research in English language learning. So.
Yes. Teach everyone. We need more educators out here with kind hearts like you. I know last time in I think after our conversation that we had for the podcast, we kind of talked about like our high school experience and how our educators were very hostile to us, and that just created a very hostile environment and it wasn't conducive for learning, but we made it through.
Yeah, I've ever since we had that conversation, I've like talked with so many other people about it, and just always talking about when I had a teacher throw a pencil sharpener at another student. It was, yeah, I just keep thinking about it since then.
Yeah. Small things happen. Speaking of us going to high school together, can you remember the first time that we met? And if you can't, what was your first impression of me?
Ooh, wow. I think we actually met in middle school, right?
Yes, very true.
In like seventh grade?
Yeah, that sounds right. Seventh grade.
Yeah. I don't think we technically I don't think we like met in person per se, but I think we had like mutual friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I just remember, and don't let me call us out about anything, but I just remember that I thought you were really nice and that you just always had like a bright smile. So I felt like comfort if I like ever did have to talk to you. But I think I remember us liking the same guy too. So
I think that is I think that is very accurate. But my first like impression of you was like, oh, she's so sweet, and I just remember that you and I had a mutual friend, and she adored you, and I was like, oh, if I got the opportunity to like get to know her more, I would, because like if she makes you so happy, I want some more joy in my life. But yeah, I think we definitely, head scratch like the same guy.
but I couldn't be
Obviously.
mad at you because I was like, she seems so nice. So like, how it
Yeah,
goes.
neither of us ended up with him, so we won that whole situation, so
We did
yay.
win.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I didn't even remember that that was the time, but hey, good laughs.
Wish I could forget.
Don't forget, it's fine. I guess I kind of want to just like start this conversation with like, what's on your heart right now? What are you going through right now that's coming up that you've learned about yourself since the last time we've chatted? And I don't know, just check in. How are you?
Yeah, thank you. um, so I guess like this period of my life, like I've been trying to self-reflect a lot lately since our last conversation. It's
Mm-hmm.
been of like struggling, but knowing that it's for a purpose. So right now I'm really like questioning a lot of things in my life, like friendships, relationships. Am I going into the right career? Things like that. Just because like I've just had a lot of things happening. For one example, I have two internships this semester, and one is teaching second grade to English language learners, and then one is third grade um, at a school, a rural school. And in the English language learner internship, there's one student that is being abused at home. And as sad as it is, like students, like you can report and you can report and you can report,
Yeah.
but they don't really do anything until it's like at the end. Um, and but he feels that he has a lot of anger and he can't really understand how to express it. So he's kind of chosen me to express it on, and that's just getting really draining because, like, my professor's like, "That's a good thing. That's a good thing," and I'm like, "Is it?" Because when I come, he doesn't want to be near me, so it's just kind of like draining in that. And so I've just been like questioning a lot of like, well, if I'm drained in just an internship with
Yeah.
5 second graders of this, like, what am I going to do when I have 68 students in a whole district? So that's been like really weighing heavy on me lately. It's just like, am I in the right path? Um, and just things like that. I've also been doing a lot of reflecting on like my leadership and trying to be sure that like I am like objective and that I am doing it for the right reasons. Because I have had some run-ins with some people that are trying to tell me that like my purpose isn't that and that I'm doing things for different reasons other than myself. And so like just trying to take those into account, but also realizing that sometimes people just have their other motives for criticizing you too. So like trying to differentiate when we take criticism and when it's valid and when it's just someone trying to like pull you down basically. I feel like I went really heavy really quick. Sorry, but those things have been on my mind like all the time.
No, that was amazing. The fact that like you're even reflecting, because I feel like some people don't pay attention to like what their body is telling them right now in the moment, and it's just like the fact that you realize that this student that you're having is having a lot of going on in his life and has emotions, and he has to come into the classroom and he probably has an idea that he has to show up in a certain way here in the classroom. It's just like for your own like mental health and for your well-being, is this the type of environment that you want to be a part of? I think it's so good to tap into how your body's feeling, because if you don't feel good at what you're doing or interacting in certain places, it's hard for you to like keep your joy. Like, yeah, that it was deep, it was heavy, but like I think a lot of people needed to hear it. I saw a lot of hearts while you were talking, so it's just like we're all going through something, and it's nice to know that even though we can't make change in the way that we want to and like resolve things as quickly, sometimes it'll we have to like let go and let the universe just figure it out and do it, and we all we can do is keep these places. So thank you for sharing so openly. Oh, your vulnerability, I love it.
But what about you? I would like to know what's been
Oh,
weighing heavy lately as well.
do I want to go here? I guess this is a girl chat. I guess this is where we're going. Right now, my family, they're actually on their way back from a little trip. So I had a lot of time to like just be by myself completely and like reflect. And your girl was crying. Your girl was crying a lot. And I just kind of sat with the feeling of I am overflowing with love right now. And it's just like, I wish I had a place to put it, and it's just like, where do I put this overflowing love? And I had to like come to terms with me being overflowing with love is actually a good thing. I don't have to necessarily have to put everything in a little compartment and for it to look so pretty. It's just like I have so much love to give, and it's a good thing that I'm overflowing instead of feeling lonely and wanting like a partner. And it's just like, girl, you're doing great things. You have your friends, you have your family, and it's okay to be overflowing with love. That's a good place to be, like in abundance. Like I wake up with so much joy, and it's just like at the end of the night, I'm like, I wish I had like an emotional support animal that I can snuggle up with and just like be with another being. And it's like, I'm excited for that when it comes, but right now I'm just like sitting with the feeling of like being so full of love and like just having so much to give. But yeah, that's what I was going through. I left out a lot because this is recorded. I'm not trying to put myself on blast, but yeah, just love in the sense of like relationships and navigating which relationships deserve my attention and which relationships do I need to just let go and let the universe. And so yeah, I'd never used this question feature before, but there was a question that popped up. I don't know how to use it, but if you guys have questions, just put them in the comments because I've never used that feature before, and I'm not about to start right here, right now. But any thoughts? Any people want to share about what we're going through? Can you relate?
I'm glad you got to self-reflect, though. I do want to make that note. And the crying, it sucks, but it does, like, it definitely lifts something. Like, there is power in crying, I feel like.
Yes, there's so much power in it. And like literally the next day, because like I'm constantly talking about my business because I'm growing it. It's just evolving in front of my eyes and I love it. And it's something that I'm comfortable being transparent in the whole journey of it. Like I'm not about to, put my relationships on blast, but it's like I can share about the growth and the changes that are happening in my business. And so literally the next day after like I cried so much, I booked a call with someone for a session, and I was like, this is huge. I had to cry and let all that like stagnant kind of gross negative energy out so that I could receive more. And it's a good place to be. Sometimes crying is so healing. Like
Yes.
yeah,
Making space.
yeah, I definitely made space to receive more because like I was sad. And like going back to kind of how your student was angry, I remember when I first was like processing my anger and stuff, and I was like, I just need to let it out. And that's why like I love doing breath work and just creating space for me to like talk, like literally talk to my inner child and be like, baby girl, what's wrong? Like what do you need? And if she just needs to cry, if she wants to like kind of listen to music that's more like for processing emotions and just kind of like dance it out, like I think people forget that we are animals and energy gets trapped in our body, and it's like it's our job to like release it, like shake it out.
And that is one thing I wanted to ask since we're talking about it. I still am kind of iffy on the whole concept of the inner child. Like, I just don't really understand it. Like, I always hear, oh, you need to heal your inner child. You need to do this to heal your inner child. But I just really understand completely what that is. So I don't know if you can explain a little bit more.
I can explain from like my understanding. So basically all of our like conditioning happens in the first 7 years of our lives. So imagine that there's a 7-year-old version of you inside of you that is still hurting from all the things that happened during your childhood. And so when things come up and we are triggered by things that are happening presently in our life, it's not our current self being triggered, it's our inner child, our past self being triggered. And that's why I like to be intentional with integrating my past and my future into the present moment, because it's just like I know that I can't go anywhere without that. Like I'm tethered to my past experiences, I'm tethered to what happened to me in my childhood, and until I learn to accept it, it's going to keep coming up. And that doesn't mean that it goes away forever, like it continues to come up, but it's just like it hurts a little less each time it comes up when you like start to process it. My biggest thing when dealing with my inner child, it was like abandonment and neglect. Like I felt so lonely and misunderstood in my childhood. Like it was crazy. Before we went live, I was literally listening to a playlist of like songs from middle school. Funny, but like all those songs took me back to that place of like, oh, I remember when this was like the song that I listened to on repeat at night and just cried to. And now I'm just like, okay, we good. Like I'm dancing to it now and singing along with it. It's just like acknowledging the things that take you back to that moment, showing respect and honoring yourself for like being there, being kind and gentle, and not like shameful or guilty or being embarrassed of like what happened or what you went through, and just being like, yeah, that was me, but I'm here right now in this moment, but she's always with me. Does that make sense? Kind of?
Yeah, definitely. definitely. Kind of like honoring your past and like past, not necessarily traumas, but like, yeah.
Yeah, because that's another thing about like inner child work. They always focus on like the negative, but it's like, no, like there's joy in like spending time with your inner child. Like there's so much joy in it. Like going back and like coloring or drawing or painting, it's like you can have a moment where it's like just joy. Like what did you enjoy when you were a kid? Do that. Connect with her. It doesn't have to be this whole big thing. Oh, I guess the question things work. These
Oh,
times
I
are
see it.
very. Do you see it? Okay. How do I
Yeah.
know how to read all of it? We're reading questions right now. Give us a second.
Oh, I think he also put it in the comments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, self-reflection, thinking, feeling, making changes, and also planning. What is the first thing you are doing once things go back to normal? We don't aim for normal, we aim for better. So that's actually a really good way of putting it. We don't aim for normal, we aim for better. What are your thoughts? What are you hoping to do, Rae?
That is a tough question because it feels like we're never gonna get out of this, but at the same time, it feels like we're so close. So,
Mm-hmm.
I guess like part of what I'm, I guess, going to be doing when things go back to normal or when we can at least see in person again, it's just like applying all the skills that I've gotten from this pandemic because I like I feel like my life has completely changed. Like for some people who haven't listened to the podcast and things, like I don't believe in the same belief system that I used to. I'm like exploring lots of different things. I don't identify as Christianity anymore. I did accept my sexuality. I haven't come out to everyone, but I'm working on saying it more. And I know this is recorded, but that's okay. And then also just like things like that, and just learning how to uh, take things that I'm seeing in life or things that I'm learning in life and like applying them to myself, if that makes sense. So the
Mm-hmm.
things that I'm encountering, instead of just saying like, oh, that just happened, actually reflecting on it. So I think just taking all of these things that I've seen in the pandemic, when I'm very lonely or when I'm alone, and like applying those to big groups and like showing to other people how they've impacted me in a way. So just
Yeah.
like when we do get to meet with more people, like just sharing my truth, accepting all of these things that I've learned about myself, and just like literally showing them instead of just, because I still hide behind social media. I still can hide behind all those like just those perfect seeming things. But when things go back to normal, like you are going to see more people face to face. You are going to be, it's going to be kind of a vulnerable experience, I feel like. So just taking these things I've learned and like learning to show them in real life, I guess is what I would say.
You put that so beautifully. So beautifully.
Yes.
Like it's going to be a more vulnerable experience. That is exactly where my mind was going. Like I'm looking forward to like spending more time with people, but to also just be like, hey, I need a day. I don't like just verbalizing my needs a lot more, and just letting people know like I'm having a bad day. I'm not going to be able to show up. This is what's happening right now. You don't need to ask me questions. Just wanted to share like, and having like open communication without having the expectation of someone trying to fix something or to do something for me, because that's a big thing on my mind right now is just like not everyone is going to be able to meet my needs, and it's like I don't need one person to be my end all be all person. Like I have different people in my life for different reasons. Like I go to my mom for some things, I go to my sister for some things, and other people for other things, and it's just like I want to have a nice, healthy community of people that I know are like supporting me. So it's just like you said that so beautifully, so beautifully.
Well, I'm
But
supporting you too.
I know it's just so beautiful that we like get to do all these things. Okay, we have another kind of question. Another way to help heal your inner child or trauma is to reparent yourself in ways you may have been neglected in the past. That is so true. I do that all the time. Yesterday, um, I'm just gonna be honest, I was ovulating and your girl was tired. I didn't want to move at all. And so like I literally asked myself, I'm like, what do you need? What do you need right now? Do you need a nap? Just lay down. We don't have to work. And it's like just self-talking yourself through it. And it's like I know you don't want to do this right now, but you should definitely take a shower because it would make you feel 10 times better. Let's go make dinner so we can eat. And it's just like being that kind parent to myself, and not saying that my parents weren't amazing to me. It's just I can still be a parent to that 7-year-old who's inside of me. You put that really nicely, Haley. That was beautiful. Thank you.
We love him.
Yes, great ways to validate your needs. Because I think I talked about this yesterday on my story, but it's like we're the only constant in our life. We put so much expectation on other people to like give us what we need, but it's like we can be everything we need for ourselves. Like, yes, we need community. Yes, we need like being close to people and having those types of relationships, but everything that you want from someone else, you can give yourself. You can. It might not feel the same, but you definitely can.
Exactly. You put that really well, because that is
Thanks.
true. We're always searching for the external, but it's already internal, and that's what I'm trying to learn right now.
Yes, it's so what's the word I'm looking for? It's like so like we live in, I feel like the collective consciousness is changing. Everybody's like getting to a higher place in their awareness, but it's like before, like growing up, I was in a place of I have to be this for people to like me, and now I'm just like I just need to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I
That is
remember
it.
like getting nervous before, from 6th to 7th grade, that all the friends I made in 6th grade I wasn't gonna have in 7th grade. And I remember like thinking of stuff like that, and like, oh, I need to go get the AEROPOSTALE shirts, and
Not Aeropostale.
and I begged my parents for the money, and they were weirdly expensive. They should not have been that expensive. And I only got like one.
Yeah.
And yeah, which I was thankful for the one, but it was like, why
Yeah.
did I beg that much for that shirt?
It
It's
meant
because
so
I wanted
much to
that.
us.
Yes,
It
that
meant
was
so
the
much to
color
us.
fit.
You brought up Aeropostale, and I was literally just thinking about that the other day, and I was like, because I was like, is Abercrombie and Fitch and Aeropostale the same thing? And I'm like, no, they're not the same thing. But I remember vividly, I had one Aeropostale jacket. It was gray, and it had like purple detailing, and I wore it all the time. And it's just like, yup, Abercrombie jeans and Aeropostale t-shirts. Yeah, right. It was, I don't know, it was an era. If you weren't there, oh,
Why did they
it's
have so much
cringy.
on this? What was it? It was just the color combinations? I don't know.
I don't know. I think one person started wearing it, and then everybody was wearing it, and then we were all like, "That's the it thing," and that just goes to like show that when we're kids, or even now, like if we're out of tune with ourselves and what we want and our needs, all we do is focus on trying to please other people and be noticed, and it's just like, what do you like? Because I absolutely hate wearing jeans. Like, I absolutely hate wearing jeans. So I don't wear them, even if it might be considered as unprofessional. That's just how I
I
make
like
myself
wearing jeans
comfortable.
though. I don't know why.
But see, that just goes to
Yeah.
show like some people are comfortable in other things and some people aren't. So why even get into this comparison thing or judging or trying to make people live in the way that you see the world?
And that's another, like, that goes straight into like professionalism standards with clothes, because that just makes me so mad. Me and my friends have been discussing this like a lot lately, and
Mm-hmm.
just like the standards that like, this isn't professional, but this is professional, but it depends on the setting and blah 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 blah, and it's all just like a whitewash standard, and it just doesn't make, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You could argue that anything is professional, but you could argue that anything is unprofessional. It's just such a vague term that we all use. Like, jeans in schools are unprofessional, but you could wear jeans to like a business job and no one would question
Yes.
it.
It all boils down to like being comfortable. And when I think in like a beautiful ideal world, people get to show up wherever they're comfortable because they get to perform better, you know? Like they live life better, they feel better. So that means that their work is more authentic and in their truth. My business coach, she challenged me in our like first session. She was like, Bria, why are you so fixated about like being professional. And it used to be like so hard for me to like hop on live and like do things like this because for those who don't know, I have a 3-year-old brother. He's not here right now, but he is very loud, and not because any reason, but like he's just being a kid, and sometimes he'll be like Hulk smash and he'll like do his little Hulk voice and like get really animated, and it's just like in my head it was like that's unprofessional. And she was like, but who told you that was unprofessional? She was like, a white man who doesn't have kids. And it's just like being a mother, being a parent, being a woman, and taking care of kids, like it should be normal, and like this is our truth, so why should we try to hide that for the sake of like professionalism?
I feel like it's just another way to like monitor the collective with like setting these vague terms that corporations can
Yeah.
set the standard and can change the standard how they see fit. Like, not to be like one of those conspiracy people, but that's just what I feel like professionalism is.
No, but that's so true. They try to keep people, because when we feel uncomfortable or we feel like we're not in a place where we can show up as ourselves, it's harder for us to like actually live in our truth. They don't want us to feel powerful. They don't want us to feel that way. So it makes total sense. It's okay if people think it's a conspiracy theory or like woo woo, but like it's the truth. I haven't wear I'm sorry, I'm reading a comment. Yes, this remote era is amazing. I love it. There's no going back. You're so right. There's no going back. I'm wearing leggings all day, every day. Period.
Exactly. Remember when leggings were like, where people were like, "Oh my God, you're not wearing pants." They were like, "Leggings are not real pants."
Right. I was like, what is like what? I'm covered. That should be the only thing that matters. I'm covered.
Exactly.
That is hilarious. I remember we used to get like in trouble for not wearing proper pants in school. And I think that just goes to like the system. They're like, we're brainwashing us essentially to be able to like go into these places and just be in the rat race. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Pretty good. I'm gonna drink some coffee too.
My mouth gets dry. This is your moment, guys, to hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I guess I'm always curious to know what people are working on. So are you working on anything beautiful? Like I know you said you've been super active in like leadership on campus. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm actually working on a few things right now. So in terms of leadership on campus, I'm the vice president of Latinas Promoviendo Comunidad Lambda Pi Chi Sorority Incorporated. And so I've been, it's a mouthful, but um, and we've been working on a lot of programs on campus, and I've been really active in planning those. And we're really starting to see like the fruit of our work right now. We've had some great participants show up to our Zoom events, and that's been really great to see because it's just been really hard during the Zoom era to really get people to want to do one more Zoom event. But we've had some great people come and get some great information. We've been doing online fundraisers, and those are starting to be successful as well. So super excited for those. Also with Cat Camp, just trying to bring that group. Cat Camp, for people that don't know, is it's a group on our Westerns campus, and it's a 1 week event prior to the semester where we kind of help students transition into adulthood, like begin their transition, because your high school mindset going into your college mindset is like completely different. And a lot of it we do, I guess, inadvertently do like inner child healing, I guess, because the week is like a lot of reflection on what you've gone through and then how you're going to go forward with it. So just like supporting, I'm in my position, I'm supposed to support the counselors right now to get them ready for that. So just trying to come up with ways for them to feel comfortable. And we're doing our first mixer event this weekend, so that'll be cool. But then other than that, like outside of, I guess, the community on campus, I'm also working on some research right now for, it's technically an honors contract because I'm in the honors college at my school, but my professor has agreed to help me publish it in the summer. And she already has a vendor in mind. Yeah, I'm super excited. But it's about so there's certain reading assessments that you have to use as a teacher, but they're, in my opinion, ineffective because they only cater to one demographic of students, which is the white middle class. So there's a lot of assumptions, like there's questions for comprehension, and one of the questions is, what is housework? And then you're supposed to say cleaning and cooking and things like that. But some students don't even live in an area, like in an environment where there is someone who does housework, or like there's foster children, there's like students that they're not raised by their parents, they don't have two parents. It's just lots of different situations that, like, how could you judge their comprehension just off of that question? And these are like standardized questions that you have to ask. So I'm just doing more research into how to make these reading assessments more effective for diverse groups of students, because like they're so outdated, and like they're all written in standard English, and not everyone speaks standard English, especially in second grade. Like, so that's what I'm working on there.
Come on, we need you in this space. We do, because that's so true. Like, it's not even inclusive, like, at all. And just to like think, like, when was this written? Like you said, it hasn't been changed. It's so we need to, I think we talked about this before, but like some reforms need to happen in the education system. And I'm so grateful and thankful to, like, you're about to be a leader in this space. I feel it. People are like, wow, I read your work. It's amazing. I agree. Sign the petition. Like, it's so beautiful. Your work, it lights me up to see people just like super passionate. And it's just like, it's about to be published. Published, baby.
I hope so. I hope so.
We're speaking it into existence. She published. She's published. Oh, I love everything. I was basically similar to what you're doing with like the first year students who are transitioning. I did that on my campus, and yeah, you're really right. It was the start of like that reflection and like inner child work, and like a lot of our students went through like homesickness, and it's just like creating the space between like, well, what can you do to make you feel more comfortable here, and like just like figuring out those things. So can relate there. But I'm so
sorry.
No, you go.
And I was gonna say, and sometimes it does cause students to want to transfer or take a different path, which I think is still successful either way. I don't know if you ever had that, but some even dropped out because they were like, actually, this isn't for me. Like, I need to follow my other dreams. And I was like, yeah. Sorry.
There is this book. No, we welcome pets. Hello, baby. That is so good. I read this book. It's called The Dip. I don't remember who it's by, but it's called The Dip. It's a little book. I'll share it on my story after this if you guys want to check it out. But basically it talks about like knowing when you're in a cul-de-sac, and basically a cul-de-sac is like a dead end. So it's like if you know that you're not going to be happy here, or you're not going to be able to do everything that you want in this space, get out as quick as possible. So it's like I commend those students who do that and who say, yeah, this isn't for me, or I don't feel good here and this isn't gonna like fulfill me. I'm all for people quitting. Like, I don't see it as a failure. I see it as you getting closer to like what you actually want to do in life, because we fail every day. Like, and it's just normal, and there's no need to shame ourselves or guilt ourselves for changing our mind. We should change our mind. We should.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yes, that analogy, Haley, is beautiful. That book, there's so many other analogies that he uses too, and I can't think about it. And that's why it's called The Dip, because it's like when you get to a point in, I'll speak from my experience. There was a place during my growing my business where I was like, is this for me? Is this what I really want to do? And like I questioned it, and I was like, long term, this is what I want to do. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through this dip. Like, there's gonna be a time where it's not as fun and I have to do a lot more admin and back end stuff, but there's a point in the path where it'll go back up, it'll pick up, and I'll be able to live in all the success and relish in all of it. But it's like, you have to first get through the dip. the analogy he uses in the book has to do with like med students and how like most med students don't like chemistry, and that's like the make or break class for them. But yeah, if you like that analogy, I will definitely share the book when we hop off live so you guys can check that out. I loved it.
Yes, please, because I need to read that book, please.
Oh, and it's an easy read. Like, it's not even a thick book. It's like perfect. I think it's Seth Godin. That's the author. Yeah, Chef's Kiss.
Okay.
I will share that afterwards. But yeah, I'm all for people quitting before they waste too much time doing anything, because you don't want to get resentful because you've done something for so long that you blame other people because you didn't quit sooner. It's like, no, you have full control over your life. Take it by the wheel and just
Exactly.
yes. Do you have anything else, Rae?
Like question wise for you and everything?
Anything. We're kind of coming towards the last like 15 minutes of our time, and so I just wanted to create another opportunity. Are we gonna chat about something else, or are we gonna get ready to close? You can choose.
I'm always ready to keep chatting, but I do want to ask, like, is there anything else that you are working on that maybe you haven't talked about yet or put out yet?
Oh, that's a great question. I actually am working on a workshop in May. Still working out all the details, but basically it's going to be a design your dream life workshop where I'm going to basically give you the space to like literally visualize the life that you are working towards, because we always get asked like, what do we want to be and like what do we want to do in life, but it's like, what are we working towards? What's the big picture? What's the dream life? So we know at like it could get super deep lifestyle design, but I just want to focus on like the big areas, the big chunks, and like try to give people space to use their imagination and not feel embarrassed or guilty to say that this is what I want. So yeah, that's a workshop that I'm working on. You can join my little email list if you want to keep up to date with that. Follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff, to like stay up to date with what's going on there. It's still in the very early planning period, but that's like May 14th. It's a Friday, and I'm gonna just do a workshop. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I just have to work out a little bit more logistics before I can like let people register for it. But I'm super excited about that, just lifestyle design and like just helping people get to that dream life. And it's just like I realize a lot of people haven't taken the time to figure out what that looks like for them. So I want to create an opportunity for that and just help them, maintain a relationship with themselves along the way. Because if you're not checking in with yourself, just to go back to that analogy of like the dip, if you're working towards something that is a cul-de-sac that you know your end goal isn't going to make you happy, you're wasting you're wasting your opportunity to get out and like use that time. So just want to help people just reconnect and build their relationship with themselves so that they can be constantly reevaluating it. I literally reevaluate my life every week. Once a week, I'm like, okay, what worked this week? What didn't? Where can we adjust some things where like my energy levels can be better and I'm not like feeling like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, because that's not good. So I'm always just like reevaluating. It's like, do I feel good? What I'm doing, does this feel good? And so, yeah, that's what I'm working on over here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. In May, getting ready for Gemini season.
Okay.
And the semester will be over, so I will definitely try to be there. Yes.
Yay! That's so exciting. I'm hoping that I can open it up to a nice group of people, because I want it to be super interactive. I don't want it to be like a lecture that you would get in school. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do some sort of meditation at the beginning, just to like really drop in. Like, I'm just here to be your guide. I'm not here to tell you what to do or how to shape your life. I'm just here to give you the space to lean in and tap into yourself. That's literally all I'm here to do.
Yes. I love it every time you always say lean in or take a seat at the table. When those phrases, like those have stuck with me ever since like you've said them.
Yeah.
So yes.
it's because it has nothing to do with, I don't have the answers. I really don't. And when people ask me, they're like, Bria, tell me, like, how did you do it? How does it work for you? Well, the way it worked for me might necessarily be the way it works for you. So it's like, we need to pick apart what's working for you right now and see where we can like explore and be curious and just be okay and embrace the change. Embrace that some things might not work and you might fail, but failure is just another piece of the puzzle. Exactly. It works for the big picture. Like each thing that didn't work leads to you finding out what actually will. So it's all a part of the process.
I did want to ask you another question though.
Okay.
Yes,
With the discomfort.
I love that. So what exactly like inspired you to like do these talks? Because I've noticed that you've done it with a lot of people from like middle school and high school that we knew. So like what kind of inspired you to open that up with your podcast?
My heart. Okay, the reason why I decided to like start this girl chat series it's all together is because there's so many people to my left and to my right that are doing this and figuring it out for themselves. And like I said, to go towards my experience, some people might be able to see themselves in my experience. So it's like maybe they'll be able to learn something from you or Tyra or anybody else that I've had on this series. And it's just like I don't know where you're at in your journey, so I want to be able to give you perspective for all the things that could possibly be happening in your life. And I respect that. I don't have all the answers, so it's like I needed to incorporate a piece of otherness in this space. Like there's more to just, this is why it's a community. This is why I call it like, this is the village, the little Duelist Bloom community, because like we're all growing through this process together. We're all constantly evolving on a daily basis. And it's just like, I can share my journey, but I should also use my platform to share other people's journeys and to like check in and be like, what's going on? Like, what's changed? Because I think that's a big piece of the puzzle that gets missed. Like, we don't get to watch other people grow. Like, it's literally just like, oh yeah, this person overnight, they became what they are now. And it's like, no, no, that's not the case. So I wanted to create almost like a little time capsule where like you or anyone else who has followed along on your journey can like literally look back on the podcast episode that we did and then like rewatch this and be like, I can see the progress in her journey and just like appreciate that, because you can't, I just hate the fact that people are like, oh yeah, this happened overnight. So it's like, I want to be transparent in my journey so you can get a full view of like the ups, the downs, the ugly, like all of it. All of it. So that's the real reason why I started this. And I'm doing more on like my YouTube channel with sharing about like my personal journey, but I really just want to use like Instagram and like this going live future to just share my platform, really. Share your story. What are you going through?
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
I like the time capsule. That's cool. I didn't even know that, and I'm part of it.
You're a part of it because we all cross paths for a very specific reason, and I think people neglect that people come into our lives for a reason to serve us on our journey. And it's like, I'm just here to help amplify your voice. I'm here to help you continue on your journey. I want you to be able to be like, yeah, Bria supported me through this. I remember when we talked about this. And it's just like, I'm here for you. All I want to see is people reach their dreams. That's all I want to do. And yeah. So navigating that whole thing, and like at the very beginning stages of my business, I was like, how do I make a business where I can literally be everyone's hype man? How do I do this? And like, I loved how it's evolved, because at the beginning I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I'm so happy with where we are today and like the conversation that we've had together. Like, I feel so fulfilled.
Me too. And you are doing this. You are everyone's hype man for real. And your own hype man.
I am. You guys don't want to see how I talk to myself. But yes, I love this and I love you, and it's so amazing. I love that question. That was a great question to end. But before we wrap up, where can everybody connect with you? So when your research is published, we know where we can find it.
Yeah. So everything still is kind of through my Instagram, which is now L.Rae, Rae Hanes, Hanes, like the underwear. And so, yeah. So that's where I'll probably be self-promoting the most right now. Um, just because I haven't put up a website with myself yet, because I've been like, why do you need a website? What have you
Yeah.
done? But then with me publishing a poem last year, a poem's going to be published this year for me, and then also that research possibly, hopefully, definitely going to be published. I will funnel a website soon through my Instagram, and so all my advertising will be through there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I didn't know you have poems published. I need to go and see these things. So, yes, when your website is put together, we're here to support you, and hopefully we'll be able to chat again soon.
Yes. Yes.
To let everyone know, I'm taking a little break from this series. We'll probably be back after the summer. I'm being completely honest. There's a lot of things going behind the scenes going on that I need my attention right now. So we'll be back. This isn't going away forever. It's just a see you soon type of thing. But yeah.
Good. Enjoy your break.
I definitely am. I do not feel guilty. I don't.
Definitely don't. No, you have done so much. You need to rest.
Thank you. Oh, this was amazing. I
Thank
love
you.
chatting with people. Yes, I'm trying to like figure out a way to bring this all together, but like I literally my blood is like rushing to my head. I feel so good right now. Yeah, so if you want to listen to the podcast, the link is always in my bio. This will be on the podcast soon. So if you want to like take it on the go, listen on a road trip, we'll have it here for you. And I guess we'll see you in a few months for another girl chat. Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much, Rae. Oh,
Thank you. I look forward to it again.
oh, I love you. And Haley, you're the GOAT. You've stuck it out with us, and I love you. I love your energy. Hopefully we'll be able to connect soon, Haley. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great day, and I love you all, and I'll see you next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed today's girl chat. I loved having these conversations and I'm sure you're going to enjoy tomorrow's episode as well. But before you go ahead and click to the next girl chat, I want you to share your thoughts on this one. So you can go to the comments and share your key takeaways, what gem resonated with you, and just let us know your thoughts. And so, yeah, we want to keep the conversation going. We want to keep the girl chat going, even though you know it's over. But you can start the conversation down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are listening on the podcast, I want you to go ahead and take a screenshot of this episode and tag us at Doulas Bloom on Instagram and let us know your thoughts. Same thing, keep the conversation going, share it with a friend, let us know your key insights, your key takeaways, and yeah, I want to know your thoughts. How did you feel today's girl chat went? What resonated with you? So yes, that is what I want. And then I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow for the next girl chat, and I'm so excited about this series. So excited about it. So but I will see you tomorrow for the next girl chat, and yeah, I love y'all. Bye.